Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back, you guys. Welcome back. Thank you for tuning in every Thursday at 2 o'clock. I know a lot of you guys are watching the replay, and that's cool. So just put hashtag replay in the comments. I appreciate you tuning in. Would you like and share? I would appreciate that. Like and share with your followers, like and share with your friends and family. So if you know somebody that's in leadership, whether they are a leader in ministry, whether they're a leader in business or a leader in the community, these 15 minutes of inspiration are just for you. So I just want to give you all some little nuggets to kind of help with that process. And I also have a book that goes along with it too, Running Things, The Resilient Spirit of a Leader. This is the 52-week leadership devotional that we'll be coming out of. And today we're on week number 15. Week number 15. So that's say we got what, 30 more to go, huh? So week number 15. And week number 15 talks about acquire conflict resolution skills. And I know that for some people that's a touchy subject, but in leader, you're going to have to confront. In leadership, you're going to have some conflict from time to time. So it's important for you as a leader to have some conflict resolution skills so you can help navigate through that process whenever it arises. And if it hasn't arisen, it will arise. And when it will arise, you'll have some skills to help you navigate through the process. So for you all that don't know, my name is Teresa S. McCurry. I am the CIO, the Chief Inspirational Officer of Super T Inspires, and I'm also the Senior Pastor of New Beginnings Ministries. And what I offer you is holistic solutions for ministry leadership, oh Lord, I got lost. Ministry leadership, self-care, self-care. When I talk about self-care, that means I still do makeup, I still offer hair services 3 days a week. So that's all part of self-care. And then when I'm counseling with people, I talk about self-care. So when I talk about self-care, that's what I mean, the salon services, the beauty services, and the coaching that I offer. And a shout out to Mandy Fresh. I have on her lipstick line, God's Queen. She has her own cosmetic line. She's out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Check her out. I am loving the lipstick, Mandy. Love it. I love the packaging. I wish I had the little lipstick tube to show you. But I digress. So self-care and kingdom development. When I talk about kingdom development, that means I help build people for the kingdom of God. So when I meet you and I witness to you out in the streets, I'm not saying, oh, come on over to New Beginnings Ministry. You go wherever God is sending you. I just want to help you get kingdom minded so we can have kingdom development, so we can grow as a kingdom. Amen? So with that being said, conflict resolution. Conflict resolution is important for you to acquire conflict resolution skills because things will come up. I wrote down a little quote from the book, and it says, a useful conflict management framework or procedure is required by every organization. So you want to have some kind of framework in your mind when conflicts occur. And I had to learn this the hard way, running my own business, being a salon manager at Ulta Beauty, and being the senior pastor at New Beginnings Ministries. It was certain things that you just had to learn as time went on. One thing that I learned that will help with conflict resolution is first listening. Just have a listening ear for whoever is upset about something, whoever feeling some kind of way. You know, they always say, well, I was feeling some kind of way about that. Whenever they're feeling some kind of way, you just want to sit and listen. You don't want to offer any advice. You don't want to point out anything. You just want to listen. And then after you're listening, you take your emotions out of it. So when I'm listening to you, I'm just listening to what you're saying at face value. I'm not putting my emotion or my thoughts, what I think, how I feel in it. And then as you're listening, then we had this whole communication workshop at our church, and she said communicate back to that person and say, so what I hear you saying is, and when you say what I hear you're saying, you just state the facts. The way you heard the facts from that person, you state the facts right back to them. And they say, oh, no, that's not what I said. Oh, no, that's not what I meant. And then you sit down and y'all go back and forth until y'all agree upon the facts. And then once you agree upon the facts, then you offer compliments, or you offer some type of solution or just some kind of feedback. So what I learned when I was a part of Toastmasters, you offer the sandwich effect. First you say something positive, about what's going on. Then you deal with the meat of it. That's the hard thing that you have to say. And then you come back with something positive. So that's what you want to do in the conflict. Okay, you know what? I really like the way that you work with the children and they do X, Y, Z, A, B, C. But, you know, sometimes you can be a little short with them and sometimes you can be blah, blah, blah. But you know what? They really love the way you bring them in snacks and you reward them for what they do. So I think that you're a wonderful youth teacher. I think that you're a wonderful youth pastor or what have you, whatever the organization, whatever they're doing. So that's one way of doing that. So after we have offered the compliment, then we look for the root cause. What is the root cause? Why are we having some difficulties here? Why are we having this conflict going on? Because what I found out that sometimes it's a misunderstanding. Sometimes it's perception. You're perceiving something that's not even there. So that's what you're perceiving. You're perceiving this to be this, but that's not even the way that it is. But if we never take the time to communicate, then you'll take your perception and run with them, and that won't even be what's actually going on. And then you have to learn your nonverbal communication when it comes to conflict resolution. Do you know somebody who do not, I repeat, do not have a poker face? You could be saying something and their eyebrows get like this and they get to roll in their eyes and then their body language be all like this. They're not open to receive whatever you're saying. So when you're communicating with conflict resolution, read the nonverbal clues as well. And then sometimes you need to point those out to an individual. Well, you know, your nonverbal, oh, no, that's not what I meant. I didn't mean that. Because sometimes you're there, but you're not there. You're there, but your mind is thinking about a conversation that happened somewhere else. Or you're there, but this is relating you to something else. So you're there, but you're not there. So when you're dealing with conflict resolution, it's important for you to understand where the person is coming from and where you're coming from. And the last thing that I thought about when it comes to conflict resolution, and this probably should be a whole page by itself, is understanding your emotional intelligence. Understanding how you emotionally are tied to certain things and how you emotionally can have familiar spirits as it relates to some things. How you emotionally, when you say this reminds me of way back when such and such has said this to me. And then after that happened, we came to this point. So being mindful of your own emotional intelligence will really help you when it relates to conflict resolution. And there has to be a conflict resolution because you can't just walk away when things don't go your way. You know how kids be in the playground. They be like, you know what? Y'all ain't gonna, well, give me my toy, give me my game, give me my ball, and I'm gone. As an adult, that's not an option. As an adult, we need to be able to talk it through. As an adult, we need to come to a happy medium. No matter how you feel about whoever is a part of the team, because one thing that I've learned in this journey, some people you just won't click with, and that's okay. Even though I don't click with you, don't mean I can't work with you, doesn't mean I can't be faithful to you, doesn't mean that you cannot be on my team. You know, it's funny how I was watching something the other day, and it talked about how men deal with things and how women deal with things. And it says if you're like picking teams, like when guys pick teams for the basketball, and if him and this guy really didn't get along, but he know this guy is shooting threes all day long, he finna pick him to be on his team. Now in a woman, that might be totally different. She can be shooting threes all day long, the best rebounder, but I'm feeling catty-ratty towards her. I'm not picking her to be on my team. So that's when we have to know that when it comes to conflict resolutions, we have to have our emotions on the outside, especially as a leader. So as a leader, when you can lead by example as it relates to conflict resolution, that will help everybody on the team be able to lead by example. So when it comes to conflict resolution, one, be mindful of your emotional intelligence. Know that emotionally you have to ask questions, you have to listen to it, you have to understand the other person's point of view, because we all have different life experiences, we all have different backgrounds. So with that being said, conflict resolution skills are very important for you to acquire. Conflict resolution skills are when I learned, like for me, I'm just going to give y'all a quick example and then we're going to go. So for me, what I have learned that when somebody is saying something that bothers me, the first thing I do, I get hot. It's like this hotness that just bubbles up in my belly, and then after it, I'll let you have it. So I've learned over the years, when the hotness comes up, I'll be very mindful not to say nothing. Not to say nothing. My mother used to tell me, I don't know if y'all mother used to tell y'all this, if you can't say nothing nice about somebody, sip it. Don't say nothing at all until you can process it, because I'm the type of person, I have to process what's going on, because if I get in the moment of it and I respond, I might respond badly. So that's just me being transparent, talking about me. So when you're dealing with conflict resolution, you want to be mindful of how you're going to respond, and you want to be mindful of how others are responding around you. And in being a leader, it's important for you to set an example when it comes to conflict resolution. So first, we want to listen. We want to listen to what that person is saying and process it. After we listen, we want to take our emotions out of it. We want to say, well, I feel like this, or I feel like that. Then we want to agree upon the facts, because your facts and my facts might be two different facts. You heard it this way, I heard it that way, but that's not what I said, but that's what I took it as. I know I'm good for putting my own 2 cents in. So you tell me, I'd rather for us to just, let's call and be on the 3-way. Because when you ask me, Teresa, what they said, well, they said, and they ain't even say that. That's just how I processed it. But if you know me, you know that I'm going to be putting my own little flavor to the conversation. Well, she said she wasn't want to be bothered with that no more. Like, that's not what I said. Oh, that's how I perceived it to be. Deal with the facts and state the facts. Just put only the facts out there. And then offer some kind of compliment. So you know what, you do this well, but you need help in that area. And be truthful. Be truthful. Don't be candy coating stuff and leaving people in a place where you're giving them the opportunity to behave badly, and then allow them to behave badly. It's important for you to call them on the carpet, but call them on the carpet in love. You can be able to share something in love. So when you're having conflict resolution, you want to deal with it in love. And then you also want to look for the root cause. Why are we having this issue? Why is this coming up? You know, a lot of times my husband, he does this thing where he says, if it happens once, I'm going to just let it slide. If it happens twice, it's on my radar. If it happens 3 times, I need to address it, because then that means it's a pattern. That means it's an issue. And then lastly, be in tune with your own emotional intelligence. Hopefully you guys learned something today. I love coming in, sharing these 15 minutes of inspiration with you. Please like, share, follow me on all the social media platforms, and I look forward to seeing you right back here next week, Thursday at 2 o'clock for Super T Inspires, talking about running things, the resilient spirit of a leader. Have a great day. Bye-bye.